Hey, good morning. It's Robert. Happy Friday. Morning, RM. Hey, John, Rabas. Morning, Sean. Hey, Ralph. Just getting a fresh look here. Spy gapping down just a little bit. Never did take that new high yesterday, but holding $2 at yesterday's bar. So right at 337, triggering the hourly sell, but not the best looking hourly sell with the blast off bar yesterday. Um, Well, I still think we pull back a little. We haven't been able to yet, and the Qs are going to show a different picture, I think. But I'm still looking for this 332 area to buy next. It's a rough time getting there, though. And Qs were down just a little bit, now flat from yesterday's close. Well, I guess down 20 cents, but Qs are sitting on top of top of the mountain here. No hourly trigger in the queues. Plus the price is way above the 20 MA. So we're still strong. Also, option X today. I think. So might get a little volatility, might get a false breakout or breakdown. Things tend to move a little on expiration days, but not in the same direction. So got a few earnings to look at in the morning. The case all week, though, has got to be quick because they go and then evaporate. I just put Apple on the list because we're getting a reasonably substantial gap up here. $5 on Apple, new breakout. This thing is really flying. BKE on the earnings list, doing a little volume and gapping right up to $19. Which clears the prior two pivots. Well, almost clears the 1903. We're right there. 200 MA there, but really nothing else. This is one of these cases where it's just a line. Although still better if it can go through. I'm gonna watch BKE though. BNTX, I think this came from John's list. It's a bio. Yeah, a little bullish, but I'll pass on that one. DE probably the best up gap here. $2 over the prior high. Looks a little like LB or one of those yesterday. Although the one I like never went anywhere yesterday. SNPS. Oh yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. Look at that afternoon in SNPS. Yeah, it was just the morning. Anyway, DE looks a little like that. I put EL back on the list from the other day. I thought this would fade. I mean, I thought it would hit the 200 MA first and then fade back up. But you can see gapping over $200 now and room to 210. So, with a $1 or less stop, I'm not sure how realistic that is, but if can get that with a $10 target, I think it's worth looking at EL this morning long. FL to 2870 or so. This is earnings, and it's in a sideways trend. You can see on the daily, it's very clearly defined, this sideways area from 27 to 31. And it's gapping right in the middle of it to 29, basically. So this is either way. I would think higher to 31. Getting above that might be harder. And this might not be a clean trader because of that area, but I do like FL. If it shows strength, higher. And then at home, I just looked at scanning it, coming to another new high. Not enough to fade though. Keys is earnings gapping into or just over the prior topping tail. So a little room higher. And well, there's that one big volume bar at 108. So there is, oh, and there's more in the background. So there's likely some supply up there, but it looks like it's going to get there. ROST also reported, not really gapping much, but I'm going to put it on the list because, if it gets over $90, it certainly could see some upside. And I think this SHLL came from John's list. Too bad this isn't gapping another $2, $3. It would make for a great fade. Right now, it's probably still long. I'm going to leave that off the initial list, though. And YRCW, if it were gapping bigger, it'd be a nice fade. 3 days up, little bit of volume increase. Yeah, about double over a couple of days before. So this would just need to be gapping more. All right, so there's that. I think DE is the best gap up, at least for me. And on the downs, AU not reporting, but looks like golds are down a bit. Yeah, all the way to the prior low, almost. I'm going to skip that for the open, though. BUNZ, this reported. It's an ADR, though. Gapping right to demand. Now, if it can crack demand, there's certainly room lower. So I'll put it on the list. but right now it's not really anything. GAN, another one right to demand. I don't know what this one is. Looks like it could fade though. 187,000. All right, I'm gonna put this one on the list. Hey, ring it. KTOV. Yeah, right under the green bar. Yeah, room to 4.25. I'll put it on the list. Thanks. Actually, I think I saw that this morning. Yeah, I'll put it there. And Kodak. Wonder if the ones who paid $60 are still in. This could still drop lower. That 200 MA is like $4. And there's the KTOV. Looks pretty good to 430, 4.25. And PDD is earnings and a $10 gap. Again, puts it right at demand though. Under multiple green bars. That's an either way. And UI, also earnings. $5 gap, and can you believe it? Right to demand. All right, so I'm going to go with these. I could probably put those two Ks on the list too. There's plenty of room. And I think the thing I'm going to focus on is going to be DE, maybe L if it can, uptrend and produce an entry. Possibly keys. And possibly PDD. And I'm not sure Apple can't be faded this morning, but let's see what the Qs do. Yeah, and the Q's now gapping up, so I like an Apple fade. All right, anything else? Anybody got something good? Last night's high on DE was 203.97. So if it can produce an entry where that's a target one, I would like DE. FDX. Yeah, FDX hanging up there strong. No pullback yet. Pretty Well, market hasn't pulled back either. But, FTX at 187 looks like a pretty good buy if it can get there. 211.56 that high. All right, I got a few minutes. I'm gonna put the mic off, and I'm here though. I'll be back on the audio at the open. If you see anything great, please post. All right, ready to go. DE probably takes a few minutes to settle down, so not looking to jump headfirst into that. Right now it's showing a 62-cent spread, but it's probably more. HTB. Yeah, little bop up has some room to 50. Okay, we're open. Now it's got the PDD. Looks like it's going to trigger right here. Apple pushing up. BKE looking higher. Maybe DE on continuation. Let's see if it happens. Yeah, here's PDD, low a day, high a day now. $2 stop, but yeah, it's not going to take. Hey, ROST deciding it's weak after all. Like EL long, O and DE. It's $1 late. Darn it, I missed DE. I'm saying that was the continuation play. Would have been 198.96 by 197. Sean likes Apple short here, I think. Yeah, could do it. That's the aggressive play for sure. BKE jumped up, hit that 200 MA. And so Rost on a sell setup could do this BZUN right here. It's a breakdown play. 37.74 by 39.38, so $2 stop. Not really a lot of target, but there is an entry. Keys falling to demand. Still watching DE. BKE is an aggressive fade here. It's a really bullish gap. It just happened to hit the target already. Well, if you want to give DE $5, it could enter here. I wouldn't choke it off at 199. I mean, it looks like it has an entry 200 by 199, and that could work. I'm gonna give it just a couple more minutes. I think it needs low a day plus a little. I'd like to buy it at the low a day. Okay, coming a little more. See if we get an entry in deer. If RM's doing PDD long, I think John took it short once or twice. In Foot Locker, if it was a better gap, I'd like it right here. This is the pullback into the gap void. But the gap's really not bullish enough to do that, and market through the low a day for a moment anyway. You can give it some room, DE. It just needs a lot of room. I'm in an eensy bit. I'm giving it low a day so far. Well, Ross was weak. Now it's taking out highs. BKE, nice breakout too, right? It wasn't able to fade. It did have a trigger, like I said, an aggressive one right there at 934, and now just flinging higher. GAN looks like a short, but it's in a big demand area. Keys really failed on the gap. PPD getting some buying. See, Foot Locker could not hold the pivot. Still like this EL and DE2. Apple setting up long here with the cues touching the low a day. Although we're only 10 minutes into the day. Let's see the Apple buy on the VWAP. So about a $2 stop on EL if take it long over 202.40. So is JPM back on course? Yeah, gonna make another try. Doesn't look as good as the other days, but basically held the area. Kodak looks lower. Now the GAN under 2134. But like yesterday, I don't really like these entries. HT. Oh yeah, HT gonna give some ground here. That's got some room to fall now. Q's popped two new lows and immediately followed with green bars. SPY 2. One. Get the new low, put up a green. Yeah, Apple if it fails. Keys has the 8-minute climactic there. All right, if EL can get over 202.50, I am gonna buy a little with a $2 stop. And I'm still looking at DE. You know, I have a little, I don't want to get the stop up yet. I keep thinking it's going to push down under this 180, 198 and then stabilize somewhere. But right now it's just holding firm right at the VWAP. Yeah, but I'll post a call on EL here. 202.50 by 250, or 200's probably better. Looking for a 210 target on that. So again, I wouldn't do much. There should be another entry or two along the way if it's going to go that distance. And still waiting for DE to show that pivot. Have a little just in case it flies, but I do expect DE higher today. And sorry, Sean. Apple's a tough one. Okay, EL is triggered. You know, no target high of the day or anything unless you're just scalping it. But I like it to 210. And it's a take all. I mean, might get something along the way, but I'm still looking for another entry to get something more. But for now, it's a 210, take it all. GAN could be short right here. This is the failure of the buy setup. Also held the 200 MA on the hourly chart. About a 70-cent stop, maybe a little more. Probably want to give it $1, which means it's not that great on risk reward. All right, you can see the option X day in the making. You know, 3 new lows, all get green bars, and I think it's likely the same thing happens on highs. Yeah, GAN the best looking thing at the moment as a short. ROST is actually getting bullish now. EL, I just like to see trend and stay above the VWAP. If we get another new high, I'll bring the trail up. BE near sub. You mentioned that earlier, I think, right? Yeah, BE. Yeah, new high. Yeah, I remember a few days ago you were bringing it up, and then right this morning on the breakout, maybe. Yeah, nice play. There's GAN. Could do it now with a even tighter stop. Yeah, well, I'm gonna let this go because of the daily area. That's what's stopping me on it. But the intraday pattern here looks really nice on the GAN. BDD still trying to make up its mind. Okay, EL. I'm gonna leave it alone for now. I'm just gonna try not to look. I mean, DE too. I just both of those are like at least a lunch kind of trades. Don't want to get shaken out in the morning whip. Just taking a little and want to hold on. Here's a additional entry now in whatever that one was, DE. Yeah. And if we get the new high, I'm gonna bring the stop up to 198 or so. But that's a nice rejection of going lower and now trying to go higher. It's also crossing the $200 barrier. And it's wide open. All right, EL, I'm going to raise this up to 201.40 or so. Not quite break even, but going to use this little pivot here just below the VWAP. Yeah, go to 2 minute chart first. Yeah, I don't want to lose this. This breakout bar is the one I don't want to lose. So 201.50. And if you're scalping, you got half the target here. If you took, real size and not looking for 210, could exit some here. Pretty good play so far. But as I've been saying, I'm looking for the big target here, the supply area that it fell from yesterday. All right, and I just want to CTE now recover. I don't want this to lose the pivot either at this point because we just got a nice new high. Got 198.50, 198.75, 198, 81. So I'm gonna give DE 198 now on a trail. I don't think I have a posted entry on this, but I don't even really have a called entry. I just took some on one of these little breakouts. But getting the stop to 198. Don't want a loss after two new highs, or not much of one. And see the market, new high, red bar. New low, green bar. New low, green bar. New high, red bar. I think we're going to see a lot of that today, or that kind of action. Apple's still higher. In spite of all of that, Apple in a beautiful uptrend. Feel bad for Sean though. I think he tried to short it twice. Okay, EL, just see if it can keep moving. ROST is along here if you like. Didn't look like it was going to be, and it's not without issue. But if I didn't already have two longs, could consider ROST. And GAN hasn't dropped, but still looks like it's going to. BDD now falling. One second. All right, sorry about that. And Kodak's been a nice short, just trending right along. His entry's getting better on the GAN. They're 32 by 73 now. Would give it, over 2R at low a day. Another little addition in DE if you like. Pre-market VWAP is right here on the GAN. It's below the 2-minute VWAP. Um, but under 32, it'd be back below the pre-market as well. 5-minute looks pretty good. And 40 by 75 on GAN as a short, I kind of like, particularly since it doesn't need the new low anymore. Thanks, Sean. Home sales up 24.7. Oh, existing homes. And if you wait for 2120, this is a lot more likely to happen. But there is the entry under 2140 and also 2132. Is this GAN? Is this a real company? It's on the earnings list. Business to business supplier of internet gambling software. Revenues increased 99%. So it gets a huge gap down. Well, that makes sense. Here's the entry here. It's a little spready. Okay, I'm in a little bit of GAN. That's what I always used to ask these weirdo stereo manufacturers that I did a lot of business with, that would build all this crazy high-end audio stuff. And I'd say, is this a real company? I used to get a laugh at the trade show sometimes. Yeah, IWM set up, well, already almost at the target. All right, GAN, I'm looking for anywhere close to low a day. It doesn't have to be there. Let's say anything under 2050 would be the front target. Yeah, I just don't know who GAN is. All right, so DE back in the break-even area, have a slightly lowered stop. EL doing fine. If worried, could exit some here. I like what it's doing and gonna try and stick with it. And again, like I say, anything under 2050 is a lock. BE again. Wow, yeah, it's going for you. Nice job on that. You've had that a couple of times now. All right, Kodak setting up a sell setup. Yeah, I have it available. I don't think I'm gonna do it, but it looks good. And PDD is still lower. BKE on the buy setup, and it's way up there, but still producing entries. Apple too. All right, I'm pretty set for right now. I have a short and a couple of longs. Trying not to overdo anything on an expiration day. Looking for a trail on EL, but again, I still have $4 to go, so I'm willing to give it back $4 to get there. As it gets closer to 210, I'll be less apt to, give back. All right, GAN close to a lock, at least for half. Yeah, okay. I'm just grabbing some. These are the kind that do this. They come way down and then yeah, it got 10 cents off the lock and then moved 40 cents back. So I'm half out again. Kind of missed the mark, but got something. And EL just didn't get close enough. If this gets over 208 or so, I'll start looking at the same kind of stuff. And DE's struggling here. The stop is up, so I'm just gonna stick with it. Got a decent entry now, 200.40 by 199. Hey Jeff, how you been? All right, I'm gonna walk off a few minutes. Just gonna stay the course with EL, DE, And GAN, I'm looking for a trail stop, but there isn't one yet. Took some target out as it came into the 250 area, but could have done better. And stop is still over 2175. This doesn't have to stop at low a day, but the reason I was interested in the entry is it had target near low a day where these other entries didn't. It just this could see 1950, but it looks hard. But now at least it's, a break even if it goes back to a stop. All right, be back in a few. Thanks all. Hey, it's Rob. I'm back. Um, I'm out of DE. It's still probably okay, but it's made a few new lows here. If you get below a day, it's probably still fine, but I don't like how it couldn't get back over the VWAP there. So just gonna leave it for now. If we get the 15-minute buy, that could be an entry lunchtime, if we get something like 199.50 by 197.50. Tequila, that's later. Ralph's already. Yeah, that's a good idea for tonight, by the way. Can make margaritas. All right, so DE, keep an eye out for a 15-minute buy. It could be good. It's pulled back a little more than I'd like, though. On the other hand, EL doing very fine. Got the 207 and a quarter, so still a couple of bucks from the target. So I'm basically giving this a 15-minute trail, under this 205 here, which is also the VWAP. So giving it a little bit of operating room, but this moved a nice $5, $6 since the entry, and it's got about three left. So hopefully can just cruise up there before lunch. And then GAN, got almost to the target. Bounce. So just any new low, I'm just going to close this one. It is in a lot of demand. That was my problem with the trade in the first place. But I wanted to have something short just in case, and this had a nice intraday, albeit the daily isn't what I normally like to do. So if it pops up over the VWAP, the original stop will kick and it'll basically be a break even, but it's still got a nice chance to fall, I think. And if you took Apple long, good for you. Nvidia having a good morning as well. They're in a race for 500, although I think Nvidia already hit it the other day, maybe in the pre-market. Oh, today it hit it. Yeah. So Nvidia wins. BUNZ looking lower. Just gonna do a quick scan now on my list. ROST, not great on the daily, but 15-minute buy looks decent. Yeah, I agree. HD could be lower. Still got room to pull. MAT. Oh yeah. Huh. I haven't looked at that since the earnings call day. It's really all faded away, hasn't it? All right, here's a re-entry on DE. I'm gonna skip it, but if you gave it a little more room, it didn't need much. 30 cents or so. You'd still be in, and now the 15-minute buy is 199.50 by 197.50. If you want to try TE again, not bad. If it were above the VWAP, I'd do it, but see, it's got to cross the VWAP to trigger, which it's gonna do any second here. So got an entry on DE. This is what I was trying to do earlier, was give it room until it made this pivot, and I thought I had it, but it was a 5 minute, and it just didn't hold. That's what they do. But nice 15-minute buy now. All right, I don't see anything that interesting. Markets are at the highs now. Being an option day, I wouldn't be surprised if we also see lows, before the day's over, and then who knows where we close, high or low. But all right, so I'm here. I'm going to put the mic off though. I don't have much to say unless you have questions. I'll post if I do anything else. Really, the best one was DE though for doing something here. Still not too late. It's still struggling with the VWAP. You can see it just went right to it. So if get a continuation play, it may be even better. Time for the market to start to really go up. Yeah, it's got a base to work with. I think it's gonna thrash, but all right. I'm here for a bit, but I'm gonna put the mic off and turn my projection off. Thanks everybody. Hopefully did okay today. The EL working out. The GAN sort of worked out. And if you gave DE more room, that's working out. Or may. And again, could still get back in DE. Really no harm done. All right. Thanks all. If I'm not back on the mic, have a great weekend.